let's look at an example that asks us to find all the complex zeros. And let's look at it. Let's plug it in our calculator and see what we see. So I'm going to plug this in and I'm going to hit zoom 6. Oh, I think I just made it mad. So graph. And you'll notice I don't really see anything. So I'm going to see if I can't find it. So zoom 0 will usually find my function. And wow. So it looks like it doesn't cross the x-axis at all. Well, I don't know. I can't really tell. It seems to get really close. Let's go to the table and see if there's any sort of zeros that we see, and I don't see any. All right, well, what do you do now? We'll go back and look at it and see if there's any sort of factoring that we can do to figure something out. I only have 3 terms, and if you notice, I have x to the 4th and x squared. So maybe I can factor this the way we learned how to factor, just breaking it into 2 factors. So 2 things that multiply together to get x to the 4th are x squared and x squared. 2 things that multiply together to get 36 and add together to get 13. So factors of 36, 3 and 12, no. 4 times 9. 4 times 9 is 36, and 4 plus 9 is 13. So 4 and 9. This tells me the sign, or tells me that both signs are the same, and this tells me that they're both going to be positive. So here we have the factored form. Now, in order to solve, we set both factors equal to 0. So x squared plus 4 equals 0, and x squared plus 9 equals 0. And we want to isolate our x. So we end up with x squared equals -4, and x squared equals -9. I know now why it wasn't crossing the x-axis. If you take the square here, you end up with x equaling plus or minus square root of -4. Okay, square root of a negative number. Remember, square root of -1 equals I. Square root of 4 equals 2. So square root of -4 is plus or minus 2I. Over here, square root of both sides, and you end up with x equals plus or minus. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of a negative number always comes out as I. I have 2 zeros here and 2 zeros here. My degree is 4, so I have all 4 zeros. The directions say to write it in factored form. Well, we can do that. So this is x minus 2I times x plus 2I. Over here is x minus 3I times x plus 3I. So there is the factored form of this polynomial. So if you put it in your calculator and there is not any easy zeros, look at your function and see if there's a possibility of factoring it the way I did here.